You're useless little bugs.
Come on, Gordon. We're going to the official opening of the new station. Then there was trouble. As Gordon approached the new station, neither the driver or fireman could apply his brakes. Something had jammed. The driver reduced steam, but Gordon was still going too fast. Soon they were in the wildest part of the island. The hens woke up, the passengers panicked, and Bulgy's driver lost control. The hens were frightened. They flapped, they squawked. "Stop!" cried Bulgy's passengers. "We want to get off." The passengers were covered in feathers and broken eggs. They were very cross. "This bus is full of hens."
"I've always been green."
Harold was landing at his airfield to get more fuel when he saw Pegasus, a cart horse that lives close by. Salty the dockyard diesel is one of these engines. He loves to tell tales of the sea. We heaved until the old freighter finally caught a tide. It's good to be useful. Salty is excited about coming to the island of Sodor. Islands are surrounded by the sea. Salty loves the sea. Soon Salty arrived at his new job. "Ahoy, mateys, Salty pride of the seven seas." "Engines don't swim, Henry. You were meant to deliver fish, not swim with them." Animals always run if you toot and look them in the eye. But it wasn't. "We'd better see what all that noise is about," said his driver. Percy was shocked. Flowers, fruit and vegetables were scattered everywhere. "It's that ram. He's made a meal of the station too." As Toby floated helplessly on the floodwaters, they passed a sign that made them shudder. "Beware the waterfall." "If we go over that waterfall, we're doomed. Look out, big city, here we come." Poor Thomas stood dazed and surprised in a muddy pond as a toad eyed him suspiciously. One bee burnt his foot. "Ooh, phew, phew." The bee thought James had burnt him on purpose. "You look silly enough to be a clown. You should be in a circus."
Oh, said the trucks. "We want a proper engine, not a red monster."
"Cinders and ashes," cried Thomas. "It's a dragon!"
A crowd of people waited to see him arrive in his new shape. He looked so splendid and strong that they gave him 3 cheers. "Peep, peep," he whistled. "Thank you very much."
Meow. So Scary Jack Frost is only Frost. The jet engine was rocketing Thomas up the track. "Oh!" said Thomas. The driver tried to put on the brakes, but Thomas couldn't stop. "Oh, boy!" Thomas flew by James and rocketed past Henry and raced by Percy. No one had ever seen an engine go so fast. Gordon had no idea that Thomas was racing along the main line. "I am the fastest," said Gordon proudly. "Hi, Gordon. Bye, Gordon." "She's got a dog," said Percy. "Awful." "It's a nest box with an egg in it." "I'll take care." A few minutes later, there was a surprise for Mrs. Kindly. "All present and correct," called Harold. "I'm here on a flying visit. Hurry aboard, Mrs. Kindly, and fly the sky with me. Compliments of the Fat Controller." Ooh, how lovely. Soon she was flying high in Harold. Later in the big city, all the engines were lined up in a splendid shed. The children were delighted to meet their friends.
He sings and sways and swivels around.
His driver calls it rock and roll. "I'm a plain-speaking engine," gruffed Duncan, "so collect your trucks and be quick about it." And off he steamed. "Bossy boots," chuffed Rheneas. "Pushy puffer," huffed Scarloey. They didn't like Duncan telling them what to do.
Bill and Ben are the most mischievous engines working on the Fat Controller's railway. They are kept busy pushing and pulling trucks up and down the line that runs from the China Clay Works to the harbour yard. They like to have fun together and often play tricks on the workmen. But sometimes their teasing ways can get them into trouble. The Fat Controller came to stop the noise. "If you don't behave, I shall not allow you here again."
You'd better hurry, teased Thomas, or scary Jack Frost might get you. Who's Jack Frost? Percy whistled nervously. Don't be silly, sniffed James. Jack Frost is not scary.
Snow and frost lay everywhere. A few days later, the weather changed. In springtime, Rusty loves to visit a faraway place. It's filled with bluebells. The air smells sweet and Rusty thinks there is no better place to be. They scrambled over hills and struggled over ditches.